You probably know it as Lou Gehrig's disease or perhaps ALS, but the official name for the disease is amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and more than 30,000 people in this country have it. Right now, there's neither a cure nor any real treatment for patients with ALS, but one elementary school teacher from Long Island is fighting to change that.
If you could feel under his belly, by his feet, you could see it's very soft. I always wanted to be a good teacher of ideas. Can you see the black line, boys and girls?
Yeah.
It seems now that fate has decided for me that I would have to be a teacher about life and how to die.
For more than 30 years, Chris Pendergast has been sharing the lessons of hard science with children on Long Island, New York. But for the last 8 years, he's also been on a mission to share the hardest lesson in his life, his battle with ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease.
Good morning.
When he's not in his own classroom, Chris spends his time educating everyone he can about this paralyzing disease.
Good morning, girls and boys. I'd like to tell you about a problem I have. The problem is that I am dying. There is no known cure. There is no medicine. I know that it will paralyze me, slowly taking away my strength. Eventually, the most important muscle will also become paralyzed. Those are the muscles that bring air in and out of my body. And when they die, then I will die.
The reality of ALS is grim, but Chris is determined not to let it defeat him.
When I was diagnosed, I had two clear choices: give up and sink into a deep depression and wait to die, or fight and try to make a difference. And that's what I chose to do.
Chris founded an organization called Ride for Life. Every year for the last 4 years, he and other ALS patients have ridden wheelchairs hundreds of miles to raise awareness of ALS and ultimately to raise research funds to find a cure.
People will not care unless they know. And people will not know unless patients are willing to literally put their lives on the line and tell their story.
This year, the Ride for Life will travel the length of Long Island into New York City. That's 175 miles at about 3 miles an hour. It will take him 10 days, rain or shine, but he's determined to make it, with support and, when possible, with other patients. But always he rides with the memories of those already lost to ALS.
I think about my friends who are dead. Oh, friend. I think about the hope that they had, and for all of those that have enabled me to do this. Watch your toes. I am a lucky guy.
Chris is lucky. He's lived 8 years since his diagnosis, while the average patient dies within 2 to 5.
Bye.
See you later.
Current hope for treatment and a cure lies in the testing of new drugs and stem cell research. Dr. Jeff Rothstein is co-director of the Johns Hopkins ALS Clinic, the country's cutting-edge ALS research center.
I think the time frame is certainly measured in years, not months. But how many years is yet unknown.
While scientists like Dr. Rothstein search for a cure, Chris believes the government and insurance companies need to do more.
The federal government spends less per patient in research than I would spend in one emergency room visit during an episode with my ALS. It's immoral. It's just so unfair. Scoop them up.
There isn't much chance a cure will be found in time to save him. But Chris, the consummate teacher, hopes his lessons will make a difference.
A lot of people think that I have a tough situation. Well, this is what Lou Gehrig faced when he stood up at Yankee Stadium. And yet, what did he say to those 62,000 people? Did he say, this sucks, I'm mad, I'm going to give up? No way. Lou Gehrig was not a quitter.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
The lesson number one is that no matter what you face, you have the power to make a difference, and you have the power to change the world. Don't complain about things that are wrong, but start to make things right. You can make a difference. Thank you very much.
What an inspiration. Today is day 8 of the Ride for Life, and Chris Pendergast and other riders join us en route from Melville, Long Island. Hey, Chris.
Hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm fine. It's so great to see all of you. It's day 8, as I mentioned. How are you holding up?
We're holding up. We got beat up yesterday in the rain. Today we're going to have wind advisories, but ALS doesn't stop for bad weather, so we can